Hello everyone. Today we will tell the truth against the lies told about Russia with a friend from Donbass. First of all, can you introduce yourself, Alexey?
Hello, dear comrades. Hello, dear friends. Thank you for opportunity to have a speech in your media. My name is Alexey. My surname is Albo. I am a member of Union Borotьба. Borotьба means struggle. This is a Marxist and anti-fascist Ukrainian organization that was created in 2011. I was a deputy of Odessa Regionally Council, Regionally Parliament, and when Maidan started and fascist coup were organized, I, with my comrades from Borotьба, we decided to fight against this coup, and I was an author of the decision of regionally parliament about a referendum about creation of Odessa autonomy. I was not successful in this process, but it was the last opportunity to solve all this problem in a peaceful way. And in the 2nd of May, I was inside trade union building in the 2nd of May of 2014, and I was hard injured, and then I went to immigration, and we are trying to make political work from the Donbass. Now I am living in Donbass in Lugansk.
The policies of imperialism occupy the minds of the people everywhere. Goebbels said that the more you repeat a lie, the more believable it becomes. Goebbels' media is at work right now. We are the people's media. As Umut TV, we want to tell the truth to the public. You live in Donbass, so can you tell us about the past of the Donbass People's Republic, which is the cause of the war there now? Where is Donbass? Who founded the People's Republic of Donbass?
First of all, I want to say that my English it is not perfect, but I will try to explain what happens here in these lands. You have to know that in old period, in old time, the land of Donbass and Ukraine, it was so-called wild field between Russia, Ottoman Empire and Tatarians, and Poland, Речь Посполита. And these lands was very dangerous because Tatars made a lot of kidnapping, and then in the Crimea they sold slaves in the slave markets. And these lands was like these lands had no owner for a long time. And many people from Russia who were afraid of their state, their rules, and their laws, and slavery, they ran away from Russia and in this region, in this area, and began to make fortifications on the different rivers. These people called Cossacks. When these people began a lot, when these settlings of these people began to grow up, Russian state, Poland state, and Ottoman Empire tried to use these people, but it was Russian people. They tried to use them to solve their political problems. And after the defeating of Ottoman Empire, when these lands appeared under control of Russia, and this area was called Novo Russia. That means new Russia, Novorossiya, if we speak Russian, Novorossiya. And after the revolution, when Russian Empire fell down, Ukrainian nationalists organized their own state, so-called Ukrainian People's Soviet, Rada.
We learned from the Russian press that NATO soldiers were missing in Ukraine as much as we followed them. Is that true, and why is NATO there? What is its purpose? How many soldiers does NATO give to the Ukraine?
No, as I said, the correct information that war started in 2014. We think that the main data when it was started, it was killing of peaceful people in Kharkov, in the Rimarskaya street. It was done by neo-Nazi fighters from Azov, 14th of March of 2014. It was the first period when war in Ukraine started. Now, if you mean this operation about peace enforcement and denazification, the operation started in the 24th of February, and soldiers of People's Militia of Lugansk People's Republic and Donetsk People's Republic, together with Russian military forces, attacked military objects. First of all, they used one moment. Precision weapons to destroy airports and military infrastructure, and it is very important that it was used precision weapons, not simple bombs, because Russia wants not to injure peaceful people, and Russia don't use this weapon against cities, only against military objects. So in the 5:30 a.m. These precision weapons was used against military infrastructure of Ukraine. After this, military forces of Russian Federation and but it is not correct. It is not military forces. Military forces don't. They participate in this operation just like some kind of military forces.
Can you tell us about the Nazi organizations in Ukraine, and who is Zelensky?
I can say that NATO cunningly used military forces of Ukraine to solve their own problems and own tasks. There were no official forces like troops, but there were a lot of advisors, a lot of different NATO infrastructure. They tried to, they prepared some military bases and even marine base in Ochakov for battleships. They prepared for NATO exploitation. So you can see that NATO they didn't use like their troops, tanks, and so on, but they organized all military infrastructure and military activity of Ukraine. CIA agents are a lot of CIA agents in Ukrainian service. In secret services of Ukraine, the same situation. In Ukrainian police, the same situation. They and also the role of NATO is that they send a lot of military aids. Just in 3 days of January, they sent to Kiev more than 200 tons of military aids goods. And from the beginning of this war, since 2014, NATO made support, NATO give to Ukrainian military one moment. Military needs. For military needs, they gave. I forgot the real how much money, but I will look. I have this information because I prepared it for another interview. One moment, I have this information. More than $2.7 billion in aid for these purposes.
Do you think Ukraine's attack on Donbass was his own decision? The head of state said that he was ready to make an agreement on the first day. So why did he give up? Who gave up on him?
Zelensky was comic, stand-up comic. Not stand-up. They participated like special project. It is a very big cultural project in post-Soviet area that calls KVN. That means Club of Funny People. And they organized some like spectacles, made a lot of jokes, and he became popular in Ukraine, and not only in Ukraine, in Russia and in Belarus, because he made some jokes about political situation, and some politics began to use him. For example, oligarch Kolomoisky. He is a Jewish person, and Zelensky have a Jewish roots too, and they had some connection. And Kolomoisky made him very famous, and Zelensky became not like a showman and a comic. He became very good producer and some kind of oligarch in this sphere of business. He was a successful businessman, and he had a lot of money from different contracts with Russia, with Ukrainian media, and so on. He had his own studio, and Kolomoisky decided to use him against Pyotr Poroshenko and another politics. Ukrainian oligarchs wanted to use him like a puppet, but Zelensky created a special serial film. And in this film, he showed like a simple person from the people. He became a president, and this serial was very popular, and it was very funny. Like this person from simple person, he get in some funny situations.
All the world press says that the war started with Russia's intervention in Ukraine. Is this true? When did the war start?
I think that it is a collective decision, but the roots of this decision, as I said, they are in Washington. Because for Washington had the old strategy to organize fighting between different parts of the Soviet Union. So now we see that Ukraine are fighting against Russia, and it is very bad for our people. But I think that we will solve this problem, and denazification of Ukraine will continue and will be finished very successfully. And I think that maybe 1, maybe 2 months later we can see another Ukraine without neo-Nazis and military hysteric. I hope so.
Finally, what is your call to the peoples of the world?
I want to say that if you will hear that about something about Russian occupation, don't believe. You should know that I'm a person from Odessa, and now I am in immigration, and after this process I will come back in my native city, and I will see my parents, which I did not see for I saw them 2 times in this period on the 8 years. So and I'm not alone. A lot of people wants to go to their homes. People who now they are living in Donbass, in Russia, in Crimea, and in Belarus, but they wants to go home, and they could not do it because Ukrainian state will arrest them and punish them. So now, after the Nazification process, we can return to our lands, to our homes. I want to ask you, comrades, to help us to share information about what happens in Donbass now, because we see that propaganda of United States imperialism are working very good and very successful. A lot of people believe them, and it is really problem. So they use a lot of fake news and so on, and we need to share information about what happens in Ukraine now, in these moments, in these minutes. And I'm very happy and glad that I have opportunity to speak about all this situation and explain the reasons of this process. Thank you very much, and I hope that everything will be okay. No pasarán.
As Umut TV, we would like to state that we are always after the truth, and that we will tell the truth against the policies of invading the brains of imperialism. In this sense, it is very important for us that you tell us the truth from there. So, thank you for the interview.